The 90s, a decade that gave us the greatest, in my opinion, genre of music. A decade where being gloomy, sad, grungy, and being loud dominated, taking hold of the teenage generation and creating movements that still carry on today. In this video, I want to share some of in my opinion, the saddest and most emotionally moving songs from the decade and share the stories and the meanings behind these songs and the people who created these songs. Now, before you get bored, I chose only 4 songs. Not too bad, right? These songs being Something in the Way by Nirvana, Nutshell by Alice in Chains, Crown of Thorns by Mother Love Bone, and finally, Black by Pearl Jam. The first song, Something in the Way by Nirvana. Starting off with a song that most people have probably heard. The song was most recently used in the movie The Batman with Robert Pattinson, kind of making it the theme song of the movie. The song talks about Cobain himself, sleeping under a bridge and talking about trapping and eating animals. While some people believe that this could be a true story about an event that Cobain experienced, former bandmates and even his own sister deny that he ever did this. The song was written in minutes. Cobain taking a slightly out-of-tune guitar and drop C tuning, C, G, C, F, A, D, those are the tuning of the strings. The song only features 2 chords, making it relatively a simple song. He sat on the couch while they set up mics around him and they just recorded the song. That's pretty musical genius, if you ask me. The song talks about something blocking his emotions, something being in the way. Knowing what we know about Cobain's life, we know his struggles with mental health and how most of his life he has struggled with major depression. I feel that this is their saddest song, coming from a pit of deep emotion, talking about something that may or may not have happened to him in his early years of life. Just all in all, it's a very depressing song from a very damaged person. Nutshell, Alice in Chains. This song could be argued to be the saddest song of the 90s generation. The song is something you've probably heard before, whether on social media, movies, or through the radio. The song is very heavy emotionally. The song was written with main vocalist Lane Staley. It mentions and talks about his struggles with heroin, which later in his life would unfortunately take it. He also talks about how through the media and the explosion of the band's popularity, something like Nirvana's lead singer had also struggled with, he has lost his own privacy and he hates the life that he has now. There are a million words one could say about the song. The acoustic guitar playing the same 3 chords over and over again, the solo that is played that fades out the song, building that sadness and despair. Lane's haunting voice conveying this deep pain that he believes that he's fighting all alone. I think the most impactful performance of the song was on MTV Unplugged. You can see the pain in his face and hear it in his voice. Every time I watch it or even hear it, I feel the sadness that he preaches. The song is beautiful, haunting, and very depressing. That's why I think it's a building block for the generation of this deep sadness that went on. It proves that not everybody making these songs weren't in the right headspace, and it was pretty prevalent. Black by Pearl Jam. This song is another song that I would say is generationally, emotionally devastating. The song talks about those early relationships. We've all had them, falling deep in love and they become your whole world, but like the song itself, it ends just too soon. Lead singer Eddie Vedder, one of the greatest vocalists of all time, in my opinion. He wrote the song about those previously mentioned emotions. The song is about letting go, knowing that she will move on, although you may not. About how she was your light, and now she is fading away. I'll quote the best lyric from the song. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star in somebody else's sky, but why? Why can't it be mine? This part hits the hardest, saying that she was everything to you and you want her to stay, but she has already moved on and there's a new light in her life. The song ends on a riff that plays out, and underneath you hear Vedder and the rest of the band sing along to the riff as it slowly fades out. Pearl Jam will probably be my most favorite band of the top 4 grunge bands at that time. Eddie's voice is just so powerful and it's so beautiful, and it's unfortunately overlooked when mostly discussed about the main singers of this time. The song, like Nutshell, brings the same defeated sadness that was prevalent in the 90s. Chloe Dancer, Crown of Thorns by Mother Love Bone.
God dang, the song is good.
Written by Andrew Wood, frontman of the band, the song talks about his struggle with heroin and to make ends meet, how his girlfriend became a stripper to help him. Hence, Chloe Dancer, the name of the song. You hear mentions of the battle through the lyrics. Had to tie me to the ceiling talks about how at the time his girlfriend had to help him. He was able to fight the addiction until he relapsed in March of 1990, killing him in the process. This song was featured on their debut album, but the band unfortunately released this album just months after his death. One of the silver linings of this tragedy was the formation of Pearl Jam, as the guitar and bass player stayed together to help form that band. Mother Love Bone is talked highly among those who are around the grunge scene, and a major what if. What if he never relapsed? Would they have been big like Nirvana? Would Pearl Jam have ever happened? Would Eddie Vedder be making music with someone else? No one knows. I'll leave this entry with this. Pearl Jam still performs the song live. The song is as beautiful as it is on the album, being performed by former members and sang by someone who I think is truly worth of covering it. I was fortunate enough to hear this performed live in September. I'll let this play out, and I hope that it won't get copyrighted. And that's it. Thank you for watching. These bands, this music, this era of music, it really means a lot to me. And if you decided to sit through and listen to the whole thing, just hear me talk about it, either it means that you like the music too, or I was good enough to talk about them with. Please consider maybe liking and subscribing. I don't know. If you're interested, I might do more of these in the future if I feel like it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.